When we last saw Mark, he had his hands full with the scary Scarab. Now he's wrapping up another project, the 24 Intrepid.
Okay, the 24 Intrepid. Mark.
It sits ready to non-skid here. They had just finalized the plastic coverings around the motors and the console, so we can start doing the non-skid there.
So what we have here is our 24 Intrepid that's been here for a while.
We did the fiberglass work on the cracks on the floor on the deck. We repaired all that area, spot primed it, sanded all the non-skid on the boat. Then on the bottom of the consoles, we did the stress cracks that were just basically stress cracks that broken on the bottom from the fiberglass and the gel coat. So we did those and repaired those. We sprayed them in white gel coat. We wet sanded and polished it. And then what we did, because when you're doing cracks on a non-skid deck, you can't just blend it in because you'll always see a halo around it or a fade off is what we call it. So what we did on here is we taped off all the non-skid on the boat, we sanded it down, and we re-non-skidded all the gunnels and the deck. And it came out beautiful. I just looked at that and I'm very, very happy. It looks like it just came from the factory. So it's really, really looking good. This boat should be delivered the day after tomorrow. The customer will pick it up. And then this will be another project out of here that we finished from Foster's Yacht Services. All right, have you looked at the blue folder on that? It just seems like we're way over on that already.
Around here, we use a system called Blue Folder. It's a program. It's where managers put in their hours and materials for their employees every day. But obviously, you got to know what you're doing and you got to use it. So they wonder why things don't happen right because they don't wind up looking at it. How many pieces of tape out of? Did you look at Blue Folder? No. Did you put it in? No. What do you expect? That which cannot be measured cannot be improved.
24 Intrepid here. What we had originally on that first job was 37 hours. Is that correct, Harry?
Yeah, 37 as of yesterday afternoon, and the estimate was 24 hours.
So just double check those hours and make sure they're getting put in the right place on the console so we can just take a better look at that.
Changed 3 different times since I started opening, so.
Yeah.
My point was, it wasn't put in properly in the first place. It was put in to confuse people.
Oh, so you think it was put in to confuse people?
It confused the shit out of people.
Yeah, but it wasn't put in to confuse people.
Well, it seemed like it.
Challenging our
you
ability.
came to the office and I explained
So why
it to you
do we
and
have
changed it.
non-skid on a gunnel and then
Non-skid
non-skid
on
on
a
a
deck?
deck in 2 separate ones?
Why don't we just call it all
What
non-skid and
about
be done with it?
non-skid on the boat, okay? Okay, same with, why are we gonna have 2 work orders for a crack on each side and then 2 cracks on the half?
Well, that's
How
how.
about fiberglass repairs?
How about what the customer wants and we
How
quoted
about
it?
it?
How about what the customer wants and we
No, it's what you
quoted
want.
accordingly? And
With the customer.
don't use obscene language and speak to me, okay?
Come on.
I don't disrespect you, okay?
Alright, let's be good.
Guys,
One call, boy, you guys want some oh, never mind.
Don't need
Can we
to
get, hey, are we professionals in here or what, guys?
Sometimes.
Well, let's make it all the time, please, okay? We're all grown men in here, we're all
Point
professionals.
is made, okay?
Jeff, sometimes that dude comes in and he has an attitude like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, we
There you go.
understand your
You want
point.
my point?
I know, we understand your point, but you need to fix your attitude. We're all in here professional with everybody, and we work on the same team. We all work for the same company, we're all on the same team. We all got the same goal involved, okay? We don't want to be individuals here, we want to work together as a team.
So guys, end of the meeting. Anybody else got any final concerns? I'm glad we got a lot of this stuff out. It was good because we got all opinions from everybody else. So we're going to try to, get this stuff together. So as you can see, what we had here this morning, we had a bunch of excuses, a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of people not wanting to take accountability and responsibility for their job. So what do? They get defensive. They start arguing with others. We got a bad attitude over here.
Me about at the meeting was that Harry's arrogance. I know we're trying to start a lot of new things. I appreciate the help from everybody around, but when you're arrogant about it and you implement something new, it takes time to get used to. I never have cared for it, but I know it's part of the job that's needed. But the arrogance, I don't care for. I'm arrogant myself, trust me, everybody knows that. So maybe that's why I don't care for it as much.
Sometimes he has a way with people and his attitude. I thought I was bad at patience. This guy makes me look like a saint. He's just snapping at everybody and doing this. People ready to walk off the job. Some people, oh, he yelled at me. I don't want to deal with it. But he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders. And if he doesn't get the job done, you think the employers are mad? Wait till I get a hold of him.
It needs to be done, and it gets done.
I like a challenge. I don't mind a challenge at all.
Jeff Fenner is my fiberglass foreman. One of the hardest workers and brilliant minds you ever want to come across. He runs the fiberglass department, he runs the bottom painting department, and he basically runs the mechanical department.
If something's needed, I can get it done. Basically, you just work through it and figure it all out. I can deal with pretty much any type of situation.
When you get to know Jeff and how he is, the sensitive side of him and how he takes his job really to heart. When it messes up, he's embarrassed. That's why he gets so mad. We call Jeff Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Name is Mr. Hyde!
Because he will flip the hell out on you when things aren't going good, and then when things are good, he'll go over there and says, hey man, that was a great job, thanks.
Yeah, I take a big amount of pride in my work, and I do believe that I'm a lot of the reputation that fosters.
So Jeff has a really diverse background on a lot of different stuff that he does.
I have a background in kit car building. We built everything from the chassis to the bodies for a 1955 Mercedes Gullwing. We also had molds for a 36 Ford pickup truck. Also had a 1936 Mercedes SLK. Built them for about 5 years. I was in the Coast Guard for 6 years. After the Coast Guard, I built yachts for about 13 years. From there, I went to Orlando and built most of Disney.
Jeff worked for Walt Disney World Productions, building all of that molds and laying them all the parts and putting them together and doing the gel coat work and wet sanding and polishing them.
After Disney was pretty much done, they ran out of work. I called up Fort Lauderdale area and came down on a Friday and started on a Monday at another company in town and worked there for about 4 years running the fiberglass department. And on a vacation, I came to Dennis and he wanted some help.
Jeff came by and said, listen, I'm on vacation, but I'm available for 2 weeks. Okay, I'll take it. I didn't know he was working for another shipyard at the time. He worked for us for about 2 weeks. I hated to let him go, so I bribed him.
He saw what I was capable of and offered me a job. Eventually I came on over here and I've been here for about 5 years now.
And I've watched that guy put in 60-hour weeks, 70-hour weeks. I've watched him do some amazing things with crafting and fixing things and building things and curving it and shaping them. And he also has plumbing and some electrical and mold experience. So he's really valuable to our organization. And I would say he's one of the top guys that we really need here in this company.
This money, then I'm on my